Hello friends, and welcome back to Homegrown and Homemade, the show. Today's episode is very special because we are taking a recipe straight out of my cookbook, Homegrown and Homemade, and we are celebrating my daughter's 16th birthday. She is turning 16 and we are going to be making one of her favorite recipes from the cookbook, which is my sister's carrot cake recipe. So when we did the photography for the cookbook, the lifestyle shots, the ones that you see of me and my family, I had the kids all pick out one of their favorite recipes that they wanted to be featured with in this book. And so Taylor picked the carrot cake, which is pictured here on page 110 of the cookbook. And then you will also find her beautiful face on the main dessert page. So there she is there with our carrot cake that we're gonna make today. Let's gather the ingredients and put it all together. This cake is super simple to make. You can mix it up without a mixer. I do use my stand mixer for the icing, but for the cake part, all you're gonna need is a big bowl and a spoon. I'm going to go out to the garden because I am going to use homegrown carrots. You do not have to grow your own carrots for this recipe, but it does add an extra level of special touch because the ingredients are coming straight from your garden. If you're buying carrots, you're gonna need about a 2-pound bag because you're gonna shred it and you're gonna need about 3 cups of shredded carrots. So we're gonna go out there, pick them, and then come back and get all of our ingredients for the cake. Okay, so we are out here in the garden. I apologize for the wind and the background noises. I want to give you some tips on carrots, but we're gonna talk inside. So for now, Cheyenne and I are just gonna pick some of these pretties. Okay, look at these beauties. I'm so excited. So I wanted to give you a few tips on growing carrots, and then I promise we're gonna make the cake. Carrots love tomatoes. That is one of the books that I recommend from last week's episode, and it's one of the easiest ones to plant next to your tomatoes. They come in a package of tiny, tiny little seeds. So you sprinkle your seeds in a row, cover them up, cover them loosely with soil, water them, and then you will see some tiny little greens start to pop up. And this is a part that I did not do for the longest time, and my carrots never turned out like this. You have to thin them out because if you have a bunch of carrots, it's gonna look like you're gonna have like 50 million carrots. But if you have all of these little sprouts together, those carrots have nowhere to go down. And so you want at least 3 fingers in between each little carrot sprout. And I know you're gonna feel like I just did all of this work to have these pretty little sprouts come up, and you're just gonna pluck them away, and it's gonna feel counterintuitive, but I promise you, the end result is actual carrots that will grow and not little stumpy ones that don't ever have room to grow down and grow bigger. So thin your carrots, plant them in a row. They make a great border. So I like to plant mine on the outer edge of my raised beds because it leaves me a lot of space on the stuff for the stuff in the inside, and it doesn't take up a lot of space. So these I planted this fall. And since they're a root vegetable, you don't have to worry about the freeze. They went through a couple of freezes. I didn't cover them or anything. And so they are still growing out there, and we picked about half of them. So we'll still be able to pick some more and then plant for the spring season. They're ones that you can just keep rotating and grow them all year long. So for the cake, you are going to need all-purpose flour or gluten-free flour. I'm using the 1-to-1 gluten-free blend, regular sugar, brown sugar, some vegetable oil, salt, cinnamon, baking soda, pecans, 4 eggs. You're gonna use 2 eggs and 2 egg whites. And one thing that you may not usually have on hand, but makes this cake so delicious, is apple butter. So you're gonna use apple butter. This helps give it a delicious texture and flavor, and helps to cut down on some of the fat in the cake. So this is considered a lighter cake. So apple butter, and that's all you need for the cake ingredients. Later, for the cream cheese icing, we're gonna need butter, cream cheese, powdered sugar. Oh, I forgot to grab vanilla. We do need vanilla extract, and you'll add cinnamon to your icing. So the first thing we're gonna do, and the carrots, they're washing right now. So the first thing we're gonna do, wash your carrots, chop them up in a food processor, or if you don't have a food processor, you can shred them with like a little julienne peeler. How pretty those are looking. The water is filthy, but the carrots are looking so clean. I use a bowl of water and a little splash of this essential oil, Young Living Thieves fruit and veggie soak. It really helps the carrots to get clean. Y'all, this is real life. My sink is full of dishes. Not full, just, yeah, there's dishes in the sink. So we're gonna rinse these real good and then set them on a towel so that we can shred them. Y'all, this makes me so happy. The first step, one of the steps I always forget to tell y'all, and I apologize. Preheat your oven to 350, and you are going to use two 8-inch cake pans. This is a versatile recipe. You can make cupcakes, you can make a sheet cake, you can make a 13 by 9. The only thing I don't recommend making is a bundt cake out of this recipe. My sister and I tried to make a bundt cake one time. We literally turned it out and it crumbled everywhere. Don't try a bundt cake, or maybe try and prove that you can, but don't come back to me and say it didn't turn out, because I warned you. So we're gonna grease two 8-inch cake pans and preheat your oven at this moment. So I told you one bowl, but I forgot. You are gonna need two. Once you mix up your dry ingredients, you're gonna leave a little well, which is just like a little indentation in the middle, so that we can add our wet ingredients in there. Now that the dry is mixed, we're gonna move that aside, bring a smaller one for our wet ingredients. Oh wait. Yeah, this is fine. 2 eggs.
The white is that thing.
Yeah, you don't want the yolk to, oh.
Yep.
Yolk.
Shells.
No shells? Good.
I need somewhere.
No. Okay.
I'm getting the yolk crunched up. Does that look good?
Mm-hmm. Okay. So while Cheyenne is mixing, I am just essentially chopping the little stringy roots off the bottom of the carrot and removing the tops. Oakley loves fresh carrots.
Oh, the carrots. Can I put some in?
Go ahead. I know.
It would take forever.
They're looking good.
Make sure to take out the blade.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, smells good. Fresh carrot. Ready to get a close up?
Yes, so we have about 3 cups here. So our measurements were pretty spot on. Now we are going to blend all the ingredients together. The first step we're gonna do is pour our wet ingredients that Cheyenne mixed up here into the dry, into the little well that we created. And you're going to just mix it up to where it is all incorporated. It is key not to overmix, because if you overmix, that makes your cakes tough. Go ahead, sis. So we're just wanting it all. We forgot oil. Oh. Shoot. I was like, this is not looking
That's good.
like it should. Oh no. Okay. Half a cup of apple butter, half a cup of vegetable. We're gonna just try to add in the oil at this point and hope for the best. All right, go ahead. Hopefully this does not totally mess it up.
I'm just gonna put it all around.
Okay. A little experiment there. Now we will fold in the carrots. Let's give it a little scrape on the sides there. So she's going to stir in the carrots. I'm gonna use this same food processor, add a few pecans in there. I'm not even going to clean out the carrots because it's all going in the same place. I personally like to buy pecan halves or whole pecans and then chop them myself anytime that recipes call for chopped pecans. I feel like they're not as dry and they're a little bit fresher, kind of like grinding your own coffee beans. You can totally buy the little cookie pieces so that you don't have to mix them up. Look at your pretty eyes. And but this is just what I prefer to do. So I'm gonna chop these up so that we can put them in our cake.
Very pretty in the sun. Mm-hmm. You actually can see the color. Mm-hmm. Can I do this?
Just dump it.
Okay.
Okay.
Then
Okay, so
I get to scoop it out.
this bowl is kind of big, so we want to do about half in one dish. Oh, y'all can't see. Hopefully my face is not blocking the camera. Ooh, this is heavy. It's like a workout. Gosh.
I'll hold it.
Thank you.
I'll go back to that one.
Making big sister's cake. All right, and then they go. They look perfect. Okay, they are out of the oven. We're gonna let them cool for just a minute in the pan. They're looking a little shiny on top. I think that may be because of our little oil mishap. So I'm hoping that they will still taste good on the inside, but you let them cool in the pan for a good like 5 minutes or so, and then turn them out on a cooling rack, and you want them to cool completely before putting your icing on. All right, my friends, we are back. It is day 2. I very rarely make a cake, all the steps all in one day. I usually bake the cake one day, let it cool. I have both layers of the cake sitting in the refrigerator, wrapped up with plastic wrap, and you have to let the cakes cool completely, and I prefer to refrigerate them overnight and then make the icing and decorate it the next day. So the cream cheese icing for this recipe is very similar to the one that you'll see in the Italian cream cake recipe, except we're just pretty much halving it because there's only 2 layers. You don't need that much icing for it. So what you're gonna do first, I have set my cream cheese and butter out to soften slightly on the counter. You're gonna put your cream cheese in with the butter, and you're gonna beat those 2 together. Of course, I picked the dullest knife I have in my cabinet. You're gonna do both of those together until they're nice and fluffy. I'm working with the stand mixer with the paddle attachment. You can also use a hand mixer for this step. So we're gonna get that nice and fluffy. So this right here is the consistency you're looking for, nice and creamy. Okay, now you're gonna add in a little bit of cinnamon. I think I have on there half a teaspoon. You can kind of eyeball it if you want to add more or less, and then a teaspoon of vanilla extract. I have made this icing recipe so many times I can make it with my eyes closed, so I feel comfortable eyeballing it. If you want to, of course, grab the measuring tools. Mix that up a little bit. After you've incorporated the vanilla and the cinnamon, you're gonna add in your powdered sugar. I add in 1 cup at a time, mixing slowly so it doesn't explode everywhere. And usually I know that it's time to add another cup once all the powder is all incorporated. I went ahead and doubled this recipe because this is a birthday cake. I want to make sure that I have a nice thick layer on the outside because I am going to decorate it a little bit, but the normal recipe will give you a good layer as well. I don't want to, I'm making it, why not make double? So the recipe in the book calls for 2 cups. I doubled it, so I'm doing 4 cups. And once you add all of your powdered sugar, you'll notice, ooh, that's what I told you not to do. You will notice that it's gonna get thicker and start to look like icing. So this icing does have like a nice kind of brownish color to it from the cinnamon, which just complements the carrot cake so well. And so now we want to turn the speed higher and really incorporate those flavors together and get it nice and fluffy before we decorate our cake. Okay, so our icing is looking delicious. Our cakes are done and cooled. Now we are going to put them on the cake stand. Dogs are barking at me. You can put a little bit of icing just in the middle of your cake board, just to make sure it doesn't move around on you. I usually try to look at my layers and see which one is the prettiest one for the top. I'm gonna go with the slightly bigger one. Okay. It's gonna be so pretty. Okay. I do recommend having, did I just say that? I don't remember. sometimes I think things in my head and then I don't actually say them out loud, or I don't know if I actually say them out loud. So you're gonna want an offset spatula, which is just, that's the offset part. It really does help you with any of your cake decorating. And if you watched one of my recent episodes, the brownies, Valentine's Day, I gave you a disclaimer that I am not the prettiest baker, so no judgment there, but it's going to taste delicious. I was recently asked how I narrowed down recipes to go into this cookbook, and because I had so many that I was looking through and that were really good recipes, but it boiled down to the ones that truly they're ingrained in our family. They have stories, they have memories, they have all sort of memories with them and special things. So when you purchase my cookbook, or if you have already purchased it and you're baking from this book, you are truly like a part of our history and a part of our family. And my hope is that these recipes, these memories, these legacies will be something new for you to build with your own family, so that 13 years from now you can say, I made this carrot cake for the first time 13 years ago, and now look at me, and now my kids are making it with me, and they are having fun in the kitchen. So that is truly my heart and vision for this cookbook, is to, one, make homemade cooking approachable and easy. All the recipes are very straightforward, not complicated, and Ivy wants to be a part of the video, and also meaningful, special. So those are the two things that you will get when you bake or cook something from my cookbook. All right, so we are putting this all together. Almost done. Okay, this is either gonna be a fail or a win. I wanted to get something cute. To match Taylor's theme. So I got some edible gold flakes here. They're definitely not very accessible in there. There we go. Getting a little bit up. It's cute. So nice. Okay. So look how she's looking. Little gold flakes on top. Okay, now I'm just taking a little bit of a wet paper towel, cleaning up my tray here. Yay! And that's where I'll go. Sadly, we're not going to cut into this cake today because Taylor's having her party this weekend, so she will be cutting into it with her friends. Be sure to post pictures on social media. I'm on Instagram at @TinaSchoenfeld. Thank y'all for watching, and I look forward to next month on the show. I can't believe we have a full month already of shows under our belt. Thank you for watching. Be sure to like and subscribe, and I will talk to y'all later. Bye.